What is up, everybody? Welcome to the F Word Podcast, brought to you by Entertain Facts. I am Simply G, and with me is Nick. What's up, man?
How's it going?
Pretty good, you?
Oh, can't complain.
Boss is gone for another week. I think we got to this show and the next show, and he's not around. So.
I think so, yeah.
Oh,
and then if we
my
still
Lord.
have jobs,
Yeah.
we'll be back after that again, hopefully.
He'll review them. I'm not too worried about it.
Exactly.
Guys, we're going to be posting a photo because we got a killer painting from Infamous Inspirations on Instagram. We're going to pop that up right now on the page, and there it is. So they gave us this really cool photo that we can use. It's not really even a photo. It's got like this nice plastic over top. It's solid. It's the really cool Spider-Man one, which I've seen on the page, which I really wanted. So go on Infamous Inspirations. They've got a Facebook. They've got their Instagram. Take a look at their product because it's really cool. And anything that they're willing to give us, which we thank them so much for, we're going to just plug the hell out of it on this show because this stuff is awesome. So again, thank you so much to Infamous Inspirations. And we got some movie stuff to piggyback off that. Big thing out of last week, obviously we had Comic-Con. It wrapped up this past Sunday. Most of the people are recovering that were at Comic-Con. We were not one of them, or we were not able to be there.
Maybe next year we could get some funding from the company and actually go to Comic-Con. Do you think that's something we could bring up with the boss? Or
Yeah, we've got 2 weeks to come up with a proposal.
Absolutely.
I think that's a good idea.
That's a great idea.
It's a great idea.
Can't wait.
So we're going to touch base on some of the trailers, 2 of the big ones for sure, but funniest thing I've ever heard, Superman's mustache is costing DC millions of dollars.
I'm not surprised.
No?
Mustaches cause a lot of problems, and I'm not surprised that this isn't one of those cases.
Tom Selleck went an entire career without an issue with his mustache, so I don't know.
That's fair. That was also the 80s.
That's true, yeah. I will say, though, this is hilarious. So the deal with this is that Henry Cavill, playing Superman, is also doing the new Mission Impossible movie. With that new Mission Impossible movie, he decided for his character, he's going to have a mustache. DC's Justice League is being pushed, I think, a little bit more with reshoots, so on and so forth. Everything that happened with Zack Snyder, all that stuff. So he's not allowed to shave that mustache because really it's not Paramount's fault or Mission Impossible's fault that they have to bring him back and do more Superman stuff. The money comes in that the fact that they're going to have to most likely CGI his mustache, which could potentially cost millions, which is super funny because I'm going to look for that while I'm watching this movie.
I'm hoping that's going to be an after scene in the movie, is just Superman hanging out with a mustache on.
They should just keep it.
They should just keep it just in between scenes. I think it would be just glorious.
He's Superman. Why wouldn't he be able to grow a mustache like it's Play-Doh?
Exactly. And shave it off and then regrow it within a second. That'd be great.
Super funny.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the funniest things out of this week.
Yeah.
The other one is DC is looking to maybe do an Oscar push for Wonder Woman. So we'll see how that is. I love the movie. I thought it was really great. In terms of Oscar, though, I'm not sure. And I'm not one of those people that comic book movies don't belong in the Oscars. I mean, most of the time they should. In fact, not even just comic book movies, mocap. Has anyone seen the Planet of the Apes movies? If Andy Serkis doesn't even get acknowledged for any of that, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Nick, what do you think? Have you seen Wonder Woman, right?
I've seen Wonder Woman. To say Oscar worthy, I don't know. I mean, it all depends on what's going to be out there. We still got some time and what's going to be coming out. But, I think it was a great movie. Mm-hmm. Is it Oscar worthy? I think there's a lot of other options out there that might be a little bit more worthy of it.
Yeah.
But, I thought it was a well done movie. I think there's a lot of different, maybe how they have the sub awards that they could win,
maybe an animate, the CGI or the special effects or something like that.
Heck, even wardrobe.
Sure, yeah, wardrobe.
Absolutely.
It was an era piece.
But I don't see why they shouldn't make a push for it in the same breath, right? Mm-hmm. These movies, superhero movies, have kind of become the major genre as of late, so why not reflect that in the award show? Give it credit where credit is due. A lot of people are spending money at these movies, so let's give it a little bit of, let's solidify the genre per se in the award ceremony.
So then maybe it's a case of if they do push it enough, that'll maybe not for Wonder Woman per se, but it'll help push just have it not so snooty and being like, oh, these are superhero genre of movies, they shouldn't be in the Oscars, so to speak, kind of deal, right?
Exactly.
Let's not forget Suicide Squad won an Oscar for best designs or costumes or something like that.
Yeah.
So Suicide Squad, which I didn't care for, is an Oscar-winning movie. So let that sink in.
Yeah.
But I think if more of them, I like what you're saying though. I think if they do at least do the push, then it'll kind of put it to the forefront and be like, okay, well, a lot of people are watching these movies now, and they're not just superhero crashing movies. Like you said, it's a genre.
Yeah, it legitimizes it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's a really good point. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. They might do it. They might, I think they're working on it. They're wanting to do it. It's an idea right now. Don't know how far they're going to go for it because it is expensive. When it comes to the Oscars, they do have to spend a lot of money on promoting it. I know when it comes to, because I like following the Oscars, a lot of times it's, let's say Hidden Figures, I believe was last year, and they actually rally behind a specific actor to go like to push for, and they put resources in there. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. But the two big things, Justice League and Thor Ragnarok. There was an Infinity War leak of the trailer. They have released the poster. Have you seen the poster?
No.
Captain America has a beard and he looks badass.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The best meme I ever saw was they had from Spider-Man Homecoming where they've got the videos of him doing like the public service announcements.
Oh, yeah.
And he's got like his hand up and he's saluting and the big smile, and it's like Captain America went from when would you like me home? When would you like me to bring her home, sir? To I'll bring her home whenever the hell I want kind of thing. He looks badass, man.
That's awesome.
And everything I've read and heard is that Infinity War trailer was crazy. It's also going to be a long movie. So it's leaked, but I don't want to see it. I'd rather wait till I see it in HD. But we've seen and we just reviewed, kind of went over before the show, Justice League and Thor Ragnarok. Nick, what are your thoughts?
Let's start with Thor. I love that trailer. I love the first one. This one's just as good, if not better. Yeah. I love the banter between him and Hulk.
That's so good.
I think it's hilarious. The part where they're comparing each other, where
the raging fire,
and you're more of a smoldering. yeah. I don't know. Your thoughts on it? I'm really looking forward to this movie. I think it's going to be stellar. I just love the banter and the chemistry they have on.
Man, you've got Fenris and you got Suter that are two huge players in the battle for Ragnarok, which is pretty much the end of days for the Asgardians kind of thing, right? Like that final scene of Hulk jumping at Suter, like pretty much the devil, was crazy. Fenris, which is just a giant dog, but like he, mythical kind of creature, whatever. Again, fighting the Hulk, it's like Hulk's going to go after all the big beasts while Thor is taking care of Hela, which I don't know how that's going to happen because Cate Blanchett, one of the greatest actresses of our time, is playing Hela, and she looks hella good, man. But yeah, I agree. You
totally stole my pun because I was going to say it sounds like it's going to be a hella tough task to do, but
well, ever since Anthony's been gone, it's like there's been a kind of the quota for how many quips we have and kind of things like that. It's just the wit isn't as much there, so I got to bring it back a little bit.
Exactly.
No, it's got everything. It looks like it's got everything. I know there is some worry. I was talking to some buddies of mine yesterday, and they were like, maybe it's going to be too funny for its own good.
Yeah.
I was like, that could be it. But I don't. If it's done well, like instead of it being a comedy, but I think there's enough there, and I'm glad they're going this route. I like the other two Thor movies. It just they were very heavy-handed. Mm-hmm. Justice League trailer.
I thought it was a cool trailer. I just got a chance to see it today for the first time. I like what they're doing with it. A little bit of the comedy with the Flash. So they're just kind of like everyone's so dark and so serious. You got your Batman, your Wonder Woman, your Aquaman, who looks totally not like the Aquaman from the 80s that I remember.
Badass.
Yeah,
Moa.
like he is pretty cool. And then you have the Flash who's like, hey, he's that guy that's kind of the comic relief. I liked it. I thought the trailer was really cool. I can't wait to see that one too. I think Ben Affleck looks pretty cool in it too. He's pretty badass.
Yeah, and last week we were talking about Ben Affleck possibly not being in it. He addressed that kind of a very political kind of way of saying, I've been very fortunate to play this character. He's saying that he's going to follow Matt Reeves to the end of the earth type of deal or whatever. We'll see. He's probably going to be done after the Batman. At least we'll get the Batman. Mm-hmm. And they're looking at moving forward with the Flashpoint storyline, which means that they can just retcon everything and start from scratch. Retcon it to a younger Bruce Wayne, because really, Aquaman may have, like, Jason Momoa, or being Aquaman, could have looked like that for 100 years. Superman could look like that forever.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman has been around forever, and she looked the same. So he's the only one that's actually, like, has to deal with aging.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they might retcon
have a really good moisturizing regimen that keeps him looking young all the time.
And Momoa's hair. Man, that's... Okay, I like the Justice League trailer a lot as well. I like that they're changing the tone. You can tell it's going to be funnier. It's going to be more Avengers-esque. Obviously, Joss Whedon doing the reshoots and stuff. You can tell it was also focused on Wonder Woman. But I think Aquaman's going to be like the Hulk of this. He's going to steal the show. He's going to have that I'm always angry moment and just crush.
Yeah.
Maybe not to that effect, but when he's sailing down on that parademon through the building, comes out, waves his hair out, and then he walks away, I'm like, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah. He calls those Tuesdays, by the way.
Tuesdays. Yeah, exactly. So we got Jim Gordon there, J.K. Simmons playing James Gordon, which is I think is going to be pretty cool. Mm-hmm. And at the end, they kind of like made it ominous where, Alfred's talking to somebody and saying, I hope you're not too late. Clearly, we know it's going to be Superman, but he wasn't at Comic-Con.
Oh.
So, you'd think he'd be at the panel, and maybe it was because he was dealing with the Mission Impossible stuff. But that was kind of it. Between the two...
Or just to keep that mystique,
maybe.
From the trailer, we assume it's Superman.
Sure. Even though we already know it, let's kind of figure out a cool way to bring him in.
Yeah.
As opposed to it being like, oh, here he is, because you already know he's going to be in it. So,
right.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be good. I'm a little more hesitant maybe for that one, only because you are taking all these pieces together. It is two directors, one finishing it, after in post, and with the reshoots, which reshoots aren't a bad thing. They always plan for those. But the other thing too is that I guess in the Screenwriters Guild or something like that, or Directors Guild, if they can credit more than 50% of the work to one director or another, then it's no longer so let's say Zack Snyder did it and it's 49% of the movie is his. But then Joss Whedon comes in as 51. Technically, it would be his movie.
Oh, wow.
Something like that.
Okay.
It was. I saw it brought up online, just briefly. But yeah, out of the two, I still think Thor Ragnarok. I like those types of movies. The buddy cop kind of traveling, kind of thing. He's getting his team together, which, from what I understand too, it's kind of playing off of where they were during Civil War. So we'll see.
Cool.
That's just some movie news. Let's get into some TV stuff.
For sure.
We're gonna go through some of your responses to on our Entertain Facts page on Instagram, which you can find. We asked what your people's favorite TV show is, and we had over 320 people respond to that one, so they really liked it. Nick, I'm going to start with you. What is one of your... I mean, it's tough to say what's your favorite of all time, but what would be technically your favorite of all time, and for what reason?
Oh, man. Favorite of all time, I'm going to have to go... just recently, I'm going to have to say Suits. Just every time there's an episode on, I sit here and I tell myself, okay, I'm just going to watch one episode and that'll be it, right? Yeah. But 4 episodes later, you're like, oh my God, it's 3 a.m. and I'm still watching this, right? So I think that's one of the reasons why I like Suits so much. It's just, you just kind of and who doesn't love Harvey Specter? I mean, the guy is just a cool dude, right? Yep. Everybody wants to be like him.
Everybody wants to.
And Donna's easy on the eyes, right? So, I mean, she's pretty cool. Yeah, totally. So I think that one's kind of my go-to one right now. I haven't seen the newer seasons yet, whatever's come out. Mm-hmm. I think I'm pretty up to date. I think I'm about a season behind, but yeah, that's got to be my all-time favorite right now.
All-time right now.
I guess all-time favorite, yeah.
It's a toss-up for me because I know you're a huge Seinfeld guy because you and I spend half of our, most of our days quoting Seinfeld.
Totally.
And I still think it sticks. Why? Because it's one of the most relevant shows even today.
Totally.
So for me, Seinfeld is definitely up there, but I will say, and I also love The Wire, and I think I talked about that on our pilot show, but Breaking Bad for me is probably my favorite. And my criteria for it is this, which some people have argued, many people have argued, because everyone's like, oh, Game of Thrones is the best show ever, or whatever.
Yeah. The
reason I disagree with it, and I kind of agree with it, is that for me, Game of Thrones had 2 full seasons of almost nothingness. Mm-hmm. People, I tried to explain it to you last year.
Yeah.
We're trying to get these 5 or 6 people to get from one place to another. So it's a very kind of traveling show, okay? Yeah. When you look at it, when you got 2 seasons of people traveling and a few things happening, it's kind of like, all right, when's it going to get there?
Yeah.
But season 6 definitely paid off in a big way. So that could be in contention because all of a sudden it's like all this stuff they led to
makes sense.
Was just crazy. It was huge. It was epic. It was all that stuff. But when I'm talking pound for pound show, Breaking Bad for sure. Mm-hmm. I can only cite, and most people can only cite maybe 3 episodes in the entirety of the season that were considered boring. Now, I know you haven't been able to get into it, so you might be one of the anomalies that are just like, it's just not for me, right? Yeah. But there's maybe the first episode, which some people talk about. There's an episode called Fly, which that one I can relate to. And then there's one more I forget people said. But when I look at it as 5 seasons of every episode being something, and I look at a character arc of two different characters that start on polar opposites and end up where the other person is, one trying to live a good life now and the other person just accepting his fate, I look at it and I'm like, this is pretty special. There's a lot of Easter eggs throughout. There's a lot of foreshadowing. It's one of those ones where you can look at it and be like, these guys definitely thought of anything, because I'm a continuity, like when I'm a quote unquote Nazi for continuity.
Yeah.
If the person's watch is on the wrong side or something like that, I'll be like, I saw that.
Yeah,
Whatever, right? 'Cause that's
that.
how I look for it.
Yeah.
But let's see what you guys had put up here. Let's get into our Instagram page. We've got Joshua Bugs Bryan. That's Bugs with a Z. Friends is his. There's been an ongoing thing with Friends and Seinfeld.
Yeah, Friends is kind of one of those classics as well from the 90s. It's a great show.
Yeah.
Ross and Rachel.
Yeah. The whole will they, won't they, when are they going to kind of thing.
Yeah.
Maddie_Vast, Transformers Prime. Do you remember that? That might be a newer one.
That might be a newer one. Yeah. Transformers Original still rocks, by the way. Yeah.
Colby_01 says Family Guy, which is always a fan favorite.
Yeah.
Kind of for me, it's kind of one of those ones where it's on TV and I'll just watch it. I don't kind of like follow it anymore. It's kind of gotten a little bit crazy because they've run out of stuff.
Yeah.
Obviously, we've got lots of people saying Game of Thrones. We got Al Rutz saying The Walking Dead. What else we got? Oh, Desco Bido69, my man, Breaking Bad. And then Young_Frankie, he says Gotham.
Gotham, I hear, is pretty awesome. I haven't seen that one, and that's one where I could start watching because I think it's only 2 seasons done,
2 or 3. They're into the third or something.
So
like that.
it's not where you're like, I'm lost. Yeah.
I didn't like it in the beginning. I thought it was really campy and cheesy.
Yeah,
but it kind of grew on me.
Yeah,
I don't mind it. I actually do look forward to watching it when it comes out. What else have we got here?
Anybody say Sons of Anarchy? Because that's a great show.
I'm not seeing any Sons of Anarchy. I'm definitely gonna go with the first part. Mike_the_King_2.0 says Brooklyn Nine-Nine and Rick and Morty. Now, I'm not a Rick and Morty guy.
Yeah.
But Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
I know you've been a big fan of that one. And you've been trying to get me to watch that one.
So good. If you guys like that type of humor, big fan. Cosmic, Rudd, R-U-D-D, it says Supernatural and How I Met Your Mother. Big fans of How I Met Your Mother?
Absolutely, yeah. I binge watched that whole series because I got into that one like after the series was done is kind of when I got into that one, and you were like, check it out, you're gonna like it.
No, you were the one that told me first.
Did I tell you that one first?
We were on a trip somewhere.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You and my brother have seen it, and I was like, I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Then I caught it, but you binged most of it because you've only seen a couple episodes, but you're like, the show's pretty funny.
Yeah.
But and I remember specifically the episode that we saw on TV. And what it was, but anyways,
the Super Bowl one?
No, it was the one where they went to the nightclub. It was like episode 3 or 4 of the first season. Yeah. Broadchurch, someone says Graham_Peterson says Game of Thrones or Broadchurch. Broadchurch, great show.
I haven't even heard of that one.
BBC, man, BBC crushes it. I'd say Luther's another one. Oh. Some_found_up_church_ Sons of Anarchy.
There you go.
So that's another one. Yeah. So keep on sending in your stuff. Some great comments there on what you think your favorite TV shows were.
Love the feedback on that one. That's awesome.
That's a huge feedback.
That coming.
Hey man, people always want to know what the favorites are and what people like and don't like. We might do another one next week saying what your least favorite TV show is, if we can remember. Going quickly into some Game of Thrones stuff. Don't want to talk too much about it because I know Nick here. Eventually, you're going to see it, and you're going to hate me for spoiling some stuff.
That's okay.
But for those of you who have seen it and who haven't, spoiler in 3, 2, 1. Euron is a badass. That's all I can say. Dude shows up, climbing down on this anchor thing right onto a ship. He's the leader of this crew, and this is a sign of a good leader. He goes in first and starts wrecking people and starts killing fools. Like, when you get a leader like that, as opposed to the Ramsay Boltons that hide behind their army and don't fight until he's literally the last person left, Euron Greyjoy kicks some ass. We finally get we're getting to get the reunion of Daenerys and Jon Snow, which has been the long-awaited thing for this entire season. Pretty much the point that's happening on Sunday, Nick, is the point where everyone's been waiting for however long.
Okay.
These pieces are slowly starting to come together, right? These 8 or 9 separate stories are now becoming 2 or 3 stories in conjunction. But we saw that Daenerys have suffered a big blow to her army, so we're going to see where that's going to go because Cersei might end up being a little bit more powerful than we thought. We get an introduction of ballistas. We get to see Hot Pie again, little fat kid that made that made bread. That one of our main characters, Arya, our Batman of Westeros, she was like caught up with them when she was trying to escape and stuff. So some really cool stuff. We may or may not do a episode on its own on Sunday or Monday, just talking about the last 3 episodes and how they've all tied in, because we're getting that halfway point. In terms of video games, Nick, you're a fan of Uncharted, aren't you?
I am, yeah.
Did you know that there's a Lost Legacy game coming out? So it's a new Uncharted with 2 female characters.
I did not know that.
It's going to be pretty cool.
That is cool.
I forget the 2 female characters.
So it's kind of like Tomb Raider?
It'll kind of, it'll pretty much be what Uncharted was ripped off from, kind of, right? It'll be the Tomb Raider thing. They did show some gameplay, which was really cool. It's a little bit more open world-ish.
Okay.
But I don't know how I feel, because I like my Uncharted. Like, when you go into Uncharted, you're like, okay, I like this because it's following a linear story with some deviation here and there, and they've kind of expanded it more and more. So we'll see. It looks pretty cool. Also, if you guys are curious, we are going to be starting to do some live streaming of us playing some games. Specifically, Anthony and a friend will be joining him, and they'll be kind of playing a game. We'll do some live streaming of it, and then we're just going to be talking about just random stuff altogether. Some of the game, some of stuff outside. So yeah, look out for that. If there's any games that you guys are wanting to have us do specifically, go on Instagram, like us on Facebook, comment on the YouTube page below, and also you can email us at the fwordpodcast@gmail.com. Nick, let's talk wrestling.
Oh my goodness. So much going on this week with wrestling. I'm itching. There's so Sunday was the Battleground pay-per-view, which many will argue is one of the worst pay-per-views they've seen. It really wasn't.
Wait, why?
Oh man, it wasn't great. And the guy who does all the booking for them, I don't know if you remember from I guess early 2000s, remember Degeneration X?
Oh, yeah.
Road Dogg Jesse James.
Okay.
Yeah, he's the guy who's the creative, I guess, for SmackDown, and everyone's calling for his, dismissal. Oh. And it's funny because people have been talking to him on Twitter, and he's responds back with oh, I would care, but, blocked. So he blocks, everybody who, disses him.
Don't.
Yeah, and, he's best friends with, Triple H, so, Paul Levesque, who's COO. So, he's not going to lose his job.
Yeah.
But, yeah, the Sami Zayn versus Mike Kanellis match that kind of was the first match of the pay-per-view. I'm glad that they had Sami Zayn win, because Sami Zayn's got this great, he's a Canadian kid. He came from Quebec. He's on NXT. He came up through the ranks as this tough as nails guy, and then they brought him up to the main roster and then kind of made him a jobber, like a guy who always loses to everyone.
Stepping stone.
Yeah, and I was just kind of disappointed with that. So they kind of made him this dork. He beat Mike Kanellis, which I'm glad, because I don't know where they're going with this power of love thing that him and his wife Maria Kanellis, who used to be a wrestler.
Oh, wow.
So Maria Kanellis is actually her name. She was a wrestler who came in the early 2000s. Mm-hmm. He married her and took her name, supposedly in the storyline. But yeah, anyways, Sami Zayn won that one. The New Day.
Question, is he related to Billy Zane at all?
No. No, but he is featured in a small cameo in Zoolander 2. No, I'm lying. The New Day, new tag team champions for SmackDown Live. I knew this was going to come. I was kind of hoping that the Usos would have a little bit more of a reign. I kind of like how the Usos have become heel, a little bit of bad guys, but New Day won again. So once again, there's happiness. There's the happy unicorns, whatever they call themselves. Great guys on the mic. I think they're going to be awesome for SmackDown. Shinsuke Nakamura versus Baron Corbin. This match had so much potential, and it became a disqualification because Baron Corbin kicked him in the you-know-what. Oh. It was a stupid way to end it, and that's where I think a lot of people are pissed off with the Road Dogg.
It ended with just a crotch shot?
Crotch shot, and it was disqualification. That's it. It's done. Damn. They fought again on Tuesday, which I'll get back to on SmackDown, and that was better. But for a pay-per-view, come on. We're better than that. There was the Fatal 5-Way elimination match between Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, Tamina, Lana, and Natalya. Natalya won that one. Little girl from Calgary. Well, Canadian girl, whatever. I don't know if she's not really Canadian. She's a heart. But anyways, she won that one. She did. I was surprised that they had her win, but I'm kind of happy because they've done nothing with her lately. So I'm curious to see now how they're going to have her fight against Naomi at SummerSlam and how that all plays out. But I think it'll be cool. I'm glad Natalya won and they gave her a little bit more legitimacy. John Cena versus Rusev in a flag match. So they had the U.S. flag and the Bulgarian flag. You know what? Great match. Awesome match. The two of them beat the heck out of each other. John Cena,
That's
of
what you
course,
want.
won. Yeah, put him through a table. Yeah, that's totally what you want. And it was great. It was a great match. Happy to see it. AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens. Amazing match. These two guys are, as far as I'm concerned, the best wrestlers there are right now. Like, the AJ Styles is really talented. Kevin Owens, best bad guy. Everybody loves to hate him. I just love the guy. I think he's hilarious. He just has this swagger about him. Kevin Owens ended up winning that one. He won the U.S. Championship. And then Jinder Mahal versus Randy Orton. The Great Khali comes back. I don't know if you remember the Great Khali. Do you remember this guy? He was in, what was that movie with Adam Sandler where he's in prison? He used to be a quarterback. Help me out
The
here.
Longest Yard?
The Longest Yard.
Is he the guy with the white beard that they give estrogen to?
No, that's Kevin Nash.
Okay.
But he's the big guy that was in Solitary where he was bashing his head against that's the Great
Turley.
Khali. Yeah. That was the Great Khali. So he makes a comeback out of nowhere, totally chokes out Randy Orton so Jinder Mahal could jump over the top and win.
Who fights him? Who would fight him though? That guy's massive.
I don't know. John
Massive.
Cena maybe, but I don't think he's even going to wrestle. I don't know. They brought him in and it was so funny and so kind of awkward.
Was it a gimmick or was it more so like he actually served the purpose of the story?
Well, I think he's serving the purpose of the story of that Jinder Mahal now is the represents India, and so did he. So he's helping out his brethren, so to speak, right?
Or like a passing of the torch kind of thing. He used to do it, and now he's
Right.
I will instill everything to you. You
Right.
can have this, yeah.
And it's like the match that they were in, a Punjabi prison match. No joke, that's what they called it. Punjabi prison match. The last match they had, the Great Khali was the one who participated in it. So I think that's another reason why they brought it in. Okay, Monday Night Raw. Let's go to this. Raw general manager Kurt Angle decided it's going to be Brock Lesnar. Remember how I said triple threat match? Brock Lesnar, Samoa
Yes.
Joe, Roman Reigns?
Yep.
I was right. And kind of wrong.
I was right.
And kind of wrong. Braun Strowman is going to be. It's going to be a fatal 4-way match.
Oh, shit.
I'm predicting Braun Strowman wins the championship. I think he's going to win it. The fact that they put him in there, I think he will. Other news, Big Cass versus Enzo Amore. Of course, Big Cass won. Nia Jax defeats Emma, and Emma's become now a jobber for the girls. I don't know. They had this... I don't know what they're doing with her. Just put her out of her misery or do something with her because it's just sad. Bayley defeated Sasha Banks. I'm a little surprised at that. So now she's going to go against Alexa Bliss at SummerSlam. I honestly thought it would be Sasha Banks versus Alexa Bliss for SummerSlam. I think you remember me saying that last week. Yeah. I was wrong. They brought Bayley in, but I'm okay with being wrong. But yeah, I'm not sure. I think the Bayley Alexa Bliss thing has kind of been overdone, and it would have been a nice fresh angle to have Sasha Banks, but whatever. Jason Jordan, who is Kurt Angle's illegitimate son or legitimate son.
Oh, yeah,
whatever.
that's what we talked about last week.
Yeah, the one that he just found out about. Right. Defeated Kurt Hawkins, which,
beautiful,
as everybody knows, means absolutely nothing. Kurt Hawkins is a jobber. Nobody cares. Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins defeated The Miz and The Miz Taraj. It was nice to see 2/3 of the Shield back together. I'm hoping they somehow bring Roman Reigns in, which I think they will. I think when they have that fatal 4-way match at SummerSlam, Roman is going to be kind of taken out of the main event picture and put more in with the Shield, and they'll do a revival of that. That's where I see that path going. And finally, SmackDown Live. Chris Jericho is back. The beefy Gordon Ramsay, as
his
you like to aptly put. Yeah.
Yeah, I missed that at the first episode, but man, every time I look at Chris Jericho, all I can think of is Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah.
And just the two of them can interlock, and that should be a match. Those two should be a tag team.
Chef Ramsay versus Chris Jericho, make it happen.
Yeah, wooden
Drink
spoon
it in,
versus
man.
tables, man. It'll be awesome.
Yeah. Shinsuke Nakamura had that match with Baron Corbin. They actually had a good match. It was a really good one. Shinsuke won. Baron Corbin, I know he's eventually going to win the title. He's got that Money in the Bank suitcase, but I'm glad Shinsuke won that match because Baron Corbin's got the nickname Boring Corbin. Ooh. So, yeah, he's...
Didn't we talk about this last week where he's not good on the mic? Was that the person you were mentioning or somebody else?
Yeah, no, it was him as well. Similar reason. Enzo isn't... Cass isn't good on the mic. He's awkward. Right. Yeah, that's for sure. Really good match between Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch. They teamed up with Lana and Tamina. I say really good match only because I like to see Charlotte Flair kind of as a good person because she's playing she's playing a face, like a good guy now, quote unquote. But I want to see them play as a good guy so that they could make her a bad guy again, because then it just vilifies her even more.
Have somebody like
I'm
have
your
her
buddy, I
betray
swear,
people kind of
and
thing.
then stab her in the back.
That'd be a good storyline.
Yeah, so I'm curious to see how they're going to do that one. John Cena is going to battle Shinsuke Nakamura next week to figure out who the number one contender is to go up against Jinder Mahal at SummerSlam. Everybody thinks it's going to be John Cena, just because then he could win his record-breaking 17th world title.
Oh, they'll give him that, and then
They might,
probably,
U.S. versus India theme. I'm going to go against the grain. I'm going to say Shinsuke wins, and it's going to be him versus Ginger at SummerSlam. I could be wrong. I'm okay with that. Other than that, final match of the night, great match. AJ Styles versus Chris Jericho versus Kevin Owens in a triple threat match for the U.S. Championship. So Kevin Owens just won the title. He has to go triple threat against these guys. I got to tell you, amazing match. These guys always put on a good show. Who wins? AJ Styles wins the title back 2 days later. So that's what went on this week. I tried to get it as quickly as I can for you guys because I know there's, people like that quick recap, but there was a lot going on this week with the pay-per-view. I'm excited to see what they do with SummerSlam. Frankly, nothing could be worse than Battleground, the pay-per-view. That was just so bad. I don't know. It was not a great pay-per-view, but I know SummerSlam is going to be stellar. I hope they do a good job with that, and I'm excited to see what they do with it and the storylines that develop from there.
Awesome. Well, that's everything, guys. Nick, thank you for the recap. Thank you for coming back again. We're going to be here for sure next week.
Yeah.
We might have a special guest. We're working on that. It's kind of whoever wants to come by and hang out with us, really.
Absolutely.
But yeah, that's your episode 5.
Wow.
5th episode?
Yeah.
Not including, or was it including?
That's including
Spider-Man?
the homecoming review.
Something like that, yeah. So not bad. We would love to get your comments. Comment on the bottom on YouTube. Send us an email at thefwordpodcast@gmail.com. Send us some stuff through Instagram at EntertainFacts. Nick, thanks again for coming.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
I'm Simply G. That's our show.